This is the piece of fabric I'm dyeing either for the top or an overskirt. I haven't decided yet. I have another piece that I left white because I want to see how this comes out. But I rolled it up in a weird tube and folded it all up because I want it to be kind of like tie-dye-y, uneven, subtly, so that way, you know, everything's consistently inconsistent. But I basically put this roll in a bowl with wine and coffee and some boiling water. And I've just been kind of like flipping it over and marinating it in there. I'm going to leave it in there all day until the whole thing like just dries out. And then I'll probably wash it and see what color it is and what I'm going to do next. But yeah, there it is. Marinating like a snack. Well, this is the other half of the fitted sheet that's not in the bowl right now. What I do with these is usually I fold them long ways and cut them in half, so there's the cut end. And this one only had elastic on the short sides, so the long sides are smooth. So I use these for any project that has an elastic involved because I hate sewing elastic. So one half of the fitted sheet I'll use for, you know, a ruffled top, and the other half I'll use to create an overskirt. And sometimes I can make two skirts with one short side of the elastic because it just pulls tighter, it's less bouncy. But you could also pull it together a little bit more as you're sewing it and have even more ruffle. So I just like using these because the white ones are very easy to get because they get old and yellowed and people don't like it, and I'm going to dye them anyway. And it saves me a lot of trouble sewing elastics, and they're actually cheaper than just buying fabric. Here are my supervisors. But yeah, handy dandy trick. So here's the sheet after a lot of hours of soaking, a few days. It's definitely wet. I was hoping I could dry it out here on the clothesline. I think we're gonna have a thunderstorm. So probably gonna have to bring the stinky wine-soaked rag inside for now. Wish me luck. It's gonna be gross. So I decided to turn the fitted sheet into like maybe the best of both worlds. I cut it into 3 pieces. These 2 are the corners from this half because this is only half a fitted sheet. So there's a seam here, and then this elastic part turns a corner, and then it widens and straightens out. So there's 2 of those, and they're mirror images. So this is going to be my left sleeve, and this is going to be my right sleeve, because the way this corner seam runs, it lines up with my shoulder blade. So if I put this elastic on top, almost by my collarbone, this piece, this corner, wraps around my shoulder. This seam puts it on the back, like wraps it around, gives it a nice way, like a fold, and it lays nice on my shoulder. And then when that's folded on my arm, these 2 sides line up, and now I have like a long full sleeve. And it has a little ruffle at the top. Then I didn't have to sew any freaking elastics my own self. And that leaves us with the middle part, the straight edge between the 2 corners, which is right here. It's folded in half. It's just big enough where I could make an overskirt with very little ruffle. Or I'm thinking about just making it maybe a back bustle just to add volume right there on my cute butt. And then I would have more ruffle because I wouldn't have to go as far, and you'd still be able to see the front of the skirt on the dress that I'm working on too. So hopefully that'll work out. 2 sleeves and half a skirt since I'm indecisive. I've been working on the shirt part for a while now. Just wanted to show you guys where I'm at. I cut a large section off each side. That's why the pockets are so close to the armpits, but whatever, it's not the worst. I sewed the sleeves on. Let me show you that. So there's my nice little ruffly sleeves. And then this one, as you can see, is really square and floppy, and it looks kind of crazy and doesn't hang nice when I put it on. So I cut it. And this is the cut one. There's the piece I took off. I'm going to cut the other one so that it's just a thin pointed sleeve. It's more about the ruffle and the decoration than anything else. And then I started sewing the sides together, but I've left a little bit of room since, again, I have no plan and no idea where I'm going. So as things come together, I tend to tighten up the corners depending on how they'll fit best. I didn't really sew the side shut because I figure with that other piece of sheet, fitted sheet with the ruffle going underneath this, possibly on the dress, I might need more room underneath, so it would depend how I sew it. Haha, there's food in the microwave. It's mac and cheese. Go me. But, yeah. Here's where we are so far on the shirt part. Gonna cut the other sleeve. And keep thinking. Welcome to my messy bedroom. So, here's the whole thing together. I don't think I have a clip of the dress in here yet. It's been a long time since I filmed the last clip. I've been sewing on buttons and adding little decorations, and I also just abandoned it for a week because I decided that I hated it. And now I feel like I've finally come to terms with everything and I kind of like it again. So I'm ready to keep working on it. But here's kind of an overall of what we got so far. And then I'm going to go in a little closer and show you some of the details. Don't you dare make fun of my messy room. I'm insecure about it as hell. So this is the bottom of the dress. I'm not the happiest with the color. I washed it on hot water and it was a mistake. But it looks better in the sunlight. It's so dark in my house. I can't even complain about how dark it is in my house because if you know me, you probably know that it's only dark in my house because I covered all of my windows with thick fleece blankets and blackout curtains. So I did it to myself, but whatever, it's difficult to see. So, okay, back to these drawings that I like. These are cute. The buttons are also cute. The colors all match really well with the tones on the dress. But honestly, with buttons, I feel like I always want the effect of a large cluster of buttons. And then I start sewing buttons on and 2 weeks in, I'm like, what was I thinking? Because when you start to spread them out over the area of an entire outfit, it's hours of sewing buttons on. Oh, the ways I suffer for my art. But some of these holes are natural, and some of them I added just so the natural ones wouldn't look so unintentional. It's more uniformly ragged. But moving up, here's the my shadow getting in the way again. Here's the edges of the shirt now. I have these little, let's see if you can zoom in, silver rivets. They're little, they fold on the back with these little sharp spiky tabs, and they're little bubbles. They're so cute. I love them. I don't even use anything special to put them on. I just shove them in with my fingers and use a pen or something stupid to bend them over the back. It's so annoying that where my light fixture is overhead, all I do is get the shadow of the cell phone in this video. There's more on the collar. I actually really like these on the pointed collar. This top part, the collar with the buttons, and then these ruffly shoulders that I was talking about before. This top part is working out great. great. And then kind of as it gets further down, I start to be like, I don't know what's happening. All the middle part is weird. And then the very end is good. This drawing I do like. I don't want to get too close because it's like covered in cat hair because of the week that I abandoned this project completely because I don't like it anymore. My cat spent basically the entire week sleeping on it. So there's like a thick layer of cat hair right there. I don't want to freak anybody out. But yeah, there's no buttons in the middle. Maybe that's why I don't like it. There's no drawings in the middle. I'm at that like crossroads though with the drawings where if I start to do too many more, I feel like I'm gonna have to do it pretty solid. Like, I don't know. It also takes a long time. So I think I'm at that part where I'm like, I want to have more buttons. I want to have more drawings on it. But then there's a part of me that's like, Lord, no. I don't want to sew any more buttons. But the sleeves look good. They're just really plain, which is also bothering me. They're just these big, snowy white fields. They almost kind of have like a wing-like effect right now. So I think maybe in order to avoid putting more effort into drawing, because drawing on fabric is kind of a pain in the butt, but I might try and do something more wing-like with them. So I don't know, it's still definitely a work in progress, but at least this top area right here, I'm happy with that. And the very bottom, I'm happy with that. I cannot recommend those little silver rivets, like, enough. They're so adorable to me. Also buttons. Have you tried covering something with buttons? Deeply satisfying. Except for your bloody fingers. That's a bit of a downer. Here's a funny bonus nugget. That shirt that I used to have short sleeves, and I cut them off along with the fabric down the sides of the shirt to make it fit me. But then I put it on this mannequin as a hat because she's bald and it looks really dreadful on her. But it makes a really cute hat. So now I'm thinking maybe I should turn the sleeve into like a leafy little elf hat. I don't know. In the meantime, she's gonna wear it to cover her bald ass head. Poor girl. But yeah, that's where the sleeve went.